Hey, it's Jake here. What we're going to do today is install an oil drain valve on my 2014 Mazda CX5. By the way, guys, if you've not subscribed, please go ahead and do so right now. I got a lot of cool videos coming up ahead. This actually is part 2. I promised you the Fumoto oil drain valve install, and that's what we're going to do today. This is the F106 SX drain valve. The SX after the number basically means that it allows you to swivel the actual valve into different positions. Now what I did originally is I actually bought the F106 drain valve, and when I tried to screw it into the bottom of my oil drain pan, basically as it turned, it started binding up and I wasn't able to seat the valve in all the way. So certain cars are going to need the SX and certain cars are not. Now, aside from the fact that it swivels and so you can screw it onto the drain pan easier, the other advantage is when you can swivel it, you can also position it in such a way that if you have any plastic sheeting underneath your engine or shielding, it will not bind with that, and you'll easily be able to put your plastic shielding back on like this piece of plastic right here. Now if that thing is pointing straight down, it might actually interfere with that plastic and make it so the plastic doesn't go on properly. Now if you remember from the last video, the problem with this oil drain plug is that it's stripped, and you can see this is the way I have to remove it. I have put a pair of pliers on it, and I get the hex that fits in the center, and I'm able to turn it. If I try to use the tool in the center, the hex wrench, I can't turn it. If I try to use the pliers by itself, I can't use it. So I use both, and I'm able to remove that plug. So once I got the oil drained out, this is not actually an oil change video, but you can see I'm changing the oil also. I'm going to take the oil filter off also, and we're going to discard that, and we're also going to put a new oil filter on as well. And I'll put all the parts that are needed for this job actually in the description. So if you want to know what oil filter you're going to need for your 2014 Mazda CX5, look at the description, also the proper oil. And I'm also going to link the Fumoto drain valve in the description as well. So if you want to go ahead and buy that, you can do that. So take a look at that little rubber O-ring in there. If you know when you take your original valve, your original plug off, you're going to notice that there's a washer there. So when you put this SX drain valve back in, you're not going to need the washer because there's an O-ring in there. So don't be worried about that, and it seats well, and it doesn't leak with the rubber O-ring. So you can see as I do that, I can actually turn. You can see how the valve itself swivels. That's the tool that you can use to tighten it, or you can just put an open-end wrench on there or a socket. I decided to go ahead and torque it. The proper torque setting for this is 18 foot-pounds. Be careful because this is a brass fitting, and if you make it too tight, you're just going to ruin it, and you're going to have to start all over again, and you're going to have the same situation. But the primary advantage of having one of these drain valves is you don't have to keep on opening and you don't have to keep on removing the nut with a wrench. You could just flip the valve open and drain your oil really quickly and easily. Now, of course, the oil filter is another story. You could see when I took out the oil filter, it was a mess. So the oil filter is the oil filter, but you can always get the oil out of your engine without risking stripping that plug or having to get out a wrench to do it. So this actually just makes the job a little bit easier. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can see it's a very simple job. At this point in time, we're going to go put that plastic back on, and if you need to swivel your valve a little bit, you can do that with the SX drain valve. You can get it out of the way a little bit so you can get this piece of plastic back in place perfectly. And the next time you have to change your oil, you just take that cover off, reach in there with your hand, flip that little lever down on the valve, drain your oil, take out your oil filter. You could do that by hand also. Then go ahead, screw your new oil filter on there, tighten everything up, put your cover back on, and you're pretty much done. Listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up are appreciated. Please subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.